Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa. Why? Because the depth, the range, and the variety of what Africa as a continent has is in the country called Uganda. So the variety, the diversity is what we offer. Yes, we are well known for the mountain gorillas, the chimpanzees, the great apes, but we are way more than that. The landscape, the weather, the culture, the wildlife, the foods, yeah, is the variety that we do offer. So for the business tourism, mice are we we are well positioned to the fact that we have a convention center, and one of our newest convention centers, the venue is the Speak Resorts Convention Center Munyonyo in Kampala, the capital city, which has a capacity of over 4,000, 4,300 to be precise. So we are able to offer, lots of meeting spaces. We do have a number of the international brand hotels as well. The Hiltons, the Marriott, the Four Points Sheraton, the Sheraton hotels, and a number of the regional brands within East Africa. So in terms of the infrastructure there, I think we do have enough to offer, and we're well positioned to offer, high quality service for that. Of course, very important is the accessibility to the country. We do have about 15 international flights that comes direct into Entebbe International Airport, but we also have our own national carrier, Uganda Airlines, so which is serving a number of different destinations, markets within Africa and out of Africa as well. We have direct flights on Uganda Airlines from Johannesburg. There is a discussion to expand that to Cape Town as well, and Uganda Airlines flies every single day into Entebbe from Johannesburg. And we fly to so many other destinations within Africa: Nigeria, Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, Congo. So Uganda Airlines is one of the infrastructure that we have, and we have a very good road network within the country. You can easily access any part of the country. That's about the infrastructure. And we do also have a number of events that happen in the country as well, which could be an attraction to other people. For example, we have the Nyege Nyege Festival. It's a musical festival that has been bringing close to 5,000 internationals, into the country. And we have a lot of different funds who come from within Africa especially, but also we get beyond Africa, from Europe, from America and Asia as well, who come for this musical festival. And there's a lot more of this kind of festivals that happen, but we just have to grow them to the international level. Because Uganda has 65 different tribes, and it is through the festivals that we showcase the different cultures that we have, and they do happen according to the different regions. However, they just need to be built up, to grow bigger to the international level. But at a national level, they happen every year. And for meetings, conferences, we have hosted some very, very important meetings. The most recent is the Non-Aligned Movements Summit that happened in January. The G77 plus China also happened in January. So those were really big meetings of over 2,000 delegates that came, and the success of that has really proved to us that we have the capacity, we have what it takes. We are hosting 125 heads of states from around the world, and that was big. That was very big. So we really need, this happened as recent as January 2024. So we know exactly what capacity we have now in terms of the human resource, the infrastructure, and the meeting equipments and facilities as well. So we are well positioned at this point to offer the best within East Africa, and the new convention center actually has the highest capacity within East Africa. So we are very proud of that, to be the leaders within the East African region, and we are really hoping to get more done in the future. We have a number of meetings, conferences that we are bidding for. This week we are also having the African Blood Transfusion Association meeting happening in Kampala. Yeah, so we are pushing really hard. But one of the key things that we have to remember as well, as a Pearl of Africa, with the diversity of all that we have to offer for wildlife, the cultural, historical experience, it's a location for conferences and meetings or business meetings that offers you a lot alongside, the experience, the leisure experience. So it's so easy to combine leisure with a business very easily in whatever location you are in Uganda. So historical sites, the food, like we have organic food, like there's so much to offer. Yes, I think the starting point for us right now is also to see, what is the trend. Digital marketing. I'm glad to know that you're a social media specialist. I think that's one of the strategy we have. To go big on digital platforms. It's not as expensive as buying airtime on television. So we have just developed a strategy to see how we can push, big times, digitally. But also this is in cognizant of the fact that most of the majority of those traveling internationally, are the social media users. They want to see the beautiful pictures on Instagram, they want to see, the TikTok, stories. They want to see on X or on Facebook, what has been the experience on TripAdvisor, what the feedback has been. So we really would want to host as many influencers as possible. No, that is definitely our focus, but we are right at the beginning of it. So we hope to grow it and make the best use of the opportunity of reaching the world through these various platforms. Yeah, and also to that as well, we're investing in films, because we also know that's another way that you're able to reach out to people. So it's not documentaries are still great, but you want to tell the story in a different way, either using a character that people will be happy, will emotionally, be able to, connect with. Yes, so we are making some investment through films as well. So in the near future, there will be some releases with some characters, international characters. Yes. One thing I am a big advocate for Uganda being one of the best destinations for filming. Yeah, when you go we have like lots of backdrops, the rivers, the forests, the mountains, like There's so much for any filmmaker. I'll tell you one little experience. One of the biggest mountains in Africa is Mount Rwenzori, and it is in Uganda. The highest peak is the third highest point on the continent. After Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya, there is Mount Rwenzori in Uganda. And it's right at the equator with permanent snow on it. So I actually braved it and went up to the peak, which is 5,109 meters above sea level. Each day, it took me 9 days, to do that trip. Each day I thought this is the most beautiful. And then the guide kept telling me, wait until tomorrow, you will have forgotten about this beauty. And I was on my second day, the third day of the hike, is this portion where there was a river and there was a boardwalk, a wooden boardwalk we had to use to cross through. And all around me was mountains with different colors. It was like a set, as if somebody went and did that. And for me, it was the most amazing. So the one thing that came into my mind was, if I have to get married again, that's where I would. Both.
Okay.
It's both. I don't have the exact figure because it's not only just the tourism board investing in that, so we are working with different partners. So I wouldn't be able to have the global figure on that. Locally, the investment in film is film production is actually through, we're encouraging the youth. So every year we have a film festival, which originally was just within the city of Kampala. But last year, when the festival was making 10 years, we realized that we need to get down to the rural places all around the country to actually be able to identify the talents, and it went absolutely very well. And I think going forward, it's not just going to be within the city. So what we start with is go to the different regions of the country and do like a mini, festival to educate, but also show the film that the local producers are making, so that it can be able to inspire the others with a dream to do films. And then internationally, we are trying to partner with different programs. The most recent was with Peter Greenberg, from the US. I think he does have some shows he does, and there's a program he was in Uganda 2 weeks ago. So they are now into editing, and in the next, I think, 4 months we should be seeing that coming out. And we are also trying to, it's a show. It's a show. Yes. Yeah. And we're also hoping to do same with him. He does a program also called the Royal Tour, where the president has to be the tour guide to show his country.
Oh, wow.
Yes, So those are some of the programs we have that are ongoing now, but we're still looking for other opportunities with the international film producers. Uganda is the pearl of Africa. If you want to experience Africa, the best way is to visit Uganda, because then you don't have to take so many flights across the continent. If your interest is in culture, you will experience it. We have 65 different tribes. Yeah. If you want good weather, you'll have it in Uganda. We have average temperature of 25 degrees centigrade throughout the year. We have only 2 seasons, dry and the rainy season. But even during dry season, it doesn't mean it doesn't rain at all. It will rain, but there will be more hours of sunshine. Rainy season doesn't mean it will rain, 12 hours a day. It might rain for 4 hours, and then the rest of the day is so bright and sunny. So throughout the year, you have the perfect weather that you can really have. And then the food, we have organic food. I
We have
struggle.
what food?
Food, organic, like really our fruits are the sweetest I've tasted anywhere, you know. Um, we have the wildlife, the diversity with wildlife. We have things like the source of the Nile. River Nile is the longest river in the world. The source is in Uganda. You're not going to get another source of River Nile anywhere else in the
I didn't
world.
pay attention to my history lesson. I didn't know that. Okay, that's awesome.
We have the equator passing through Uganda, but yet because of the high altitude we are at, so you don't have the weather so hot because of the higher altitude at which the country is. And that's why you can even have a permanent snow right at the equator because of the altitude.
It looks like that, yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, and then of course the wildlife. Yeah, the wildlife, the diversity, the endemic species, the endangered species like the mountain gorillas, the chimpanzees, you'll have it all there. We host 50% of African bird species are in Uganda. Yeah. 50% of the bird species in Africa, which is 11% of what the world has. You will have it there. So adventure, if you are an adventurous person, the whitewater rafting on the Nile, the tubing on the Nile, cycling on the Nile, bungee jumping, abseiling on the falls, you will just enjoy yourself, if you're adventurous. And I think one of the things is, as I say, why people should choose to meet in Uganda. One, we have all the facilities, what it takes to offer you a good meeting in terms of space, in terms of the venue, in terms of the equipment. The new convention center we have has the state of the arts, equipment, translation, the mics and everything. But then the service itself, with with accommodation, the food and everything. On top of that, you just need an hour to experience the most amazing thing outside the conference rooms where you are, right in the city, whether it is with the culture, whether it's with the historical sites. So really,
I'll come for the food. But not bungee jumping.
No, we have to sum it up. We have everything for everyone. Well, I mean, like I said, Uganda has this diversity, so we can work with any influencer depending on their interests. Are they interested in music? We have some of the best musicians. I'm sure you know of Eddie Kenzo. Is one of our big brands. Who won the Emmy Awards. So. Well, the boat trips on the rivers, on the lakes, I mean, you can get amazing photographs against the sunrise and, the sunset. We do a lot of breakfast, cruises, sunset cruises, people enjoying their wine, whatever drink, on the boat cruise with the really nice backdrop of the sunset with the lake, with the rivers. Yeah, so